So I'm with Stephen Meade with Big Bamboo. It's an incubator here in Beverly Hills. And tell us about it. What is special and unique about it, as well as why Big Bamboo? What's the title for it?
Yeah, so let's back up to the name, because the name's actually funny. The only place people ask me about bamboo is LA. And when I say the name of the company, Big Bamboo, they go, oh, you sell bamboo. And we really don't. So let's begin. The metaphor for bamboo. Chinese bamboo is an interesting grass. It's not actually a plant. It doesn't grow for 4 years. So the concept around bamboo is you have to water it almost every day. And what the bamboo plant's doing in that time is putting down roots and infrastructure. And when it decides to grow, it's the fastest growing, basically grass on the plant. So the idea of bamboo is sometimes companies take longer, but it's putting down roots and infrastructure, and you have to have faith and belief and persistence. And it's not like a little corn sprout that pops up in 3 weeks and you see it. Sometimes things take a little longer. So the idea for Big Bamboo is growing companies that have roots and infrastructure and can grow really fast.
Nice. What kind of companies do you have?
Within the incubator, so it's a private incubator, so it's usually only my own ideas. We don't do outside companies. And it ranges from, we've done everything from e-commerce. In '96, we were the first ever master merchant. Online, we created a company called Virtual Sellers, where we had a shopping cart technology, which didn't exist in '96, and a master merchant account to allow us to process orders, pull them off the internet. We took a fee, and then we sent companies checks and mailing labels, and that was really the precursor for what years later and it became PayPal. So we've done stuff from e-commerce to Homeland Security. We've launched a company in the mobile technology space, and that one's kind of fascinating. When we say mobile, people go, oh, you do apps, and apps to me are kind of child's play. They're kind of kids play and they're fun. We've built a company, 6 years, 4 rounds of funding, where when you hit send on your mobile device, when you're making an actual voice phone call, the time between when you hit send and when the phone rings is called a sequencing gap. It's about 4 to 6 seconds. We're the first company in the world with the technology to put an audio message in the gap of a phone call.
Wow. That's
yeah, it's been kind of fun, and at first people go, oh, you're going to put an ad in there, you're the devil. and so we've kind of learned, we've massaged it. So what we do is we call it a relevant message, big air quotes, relevant message. And that may be something like you're behind on your bill, would you like a software upgrade, something that's really simple and relevant and timely, but it doesn't disrupt the call.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you have coming up that's exciting and new?
A couple things that are really fun. One of our big projects, it's been about 2 years putting it together, and it's taken so long because it wasn't my background. We've got a company we're launching called My Blue Earth. Okay. Decided to look at the eco-environmental space, and I'm not really an environmental guy, but this one's been really fun. The #1 waste of water on a daily basis in the industrialized world is flushing the toilet. And a lot of people are focused on water in third world countries because of the scarcity of water. We looked at it differently and said the consumption of water in domestic countries like the US is a huge driver of the resource. And we developed a device called the Drop Box. It's a little box about this big, looks like a treasure chest, really simple recycled plastic. And inside are 2 simple components. You open it up, and one is an eco magazine. We've created a little magazine that's got 10 tips for 10 million people. It's how to care and save for the planet. And it's little tips, and we have companies that are sponsoring it. And within the care guide, there's a little character we created called Johnny Waterdrop, who through the course of the care guide just kind of narrates the story on how to save water and little tips on the planet. So it's really simple. A plastic globe that you take out and put on your desk that can be customized like the old pet rock. Again, it's just a plastic reminder, 2 hands holding the globe. But the box is the product. The box is called the Drop Box. It's a double entendre. It drops in the tank of a toilet.
Okay.
Up top where the water is, not down the bowl of the tank. The box is a glorified brick.
Ah.
It literally, yeah, it's like an
That was like an old school trick.
It's an old school trick, a brick or a milk jug. Yeah. But we built this story around it, so it's a treasure chest and it's protecting something. And so the box drops in the tank and it displaces by volume a ½ gallon of water per flush. Huh. And
adds up to a lot.
Well, yeah, it's really, to me, was fascinating. So we looked at 2 components. One, for a household, a regular family of 4, that ½ gallon is over 4,000 gallons of water a year. Well, if you save water, you actually save money. So it's economical. Save water, save money, kind of cool. But the cascade is if you save water, you save electricity. Because it takes electricity to treat and transport water to the home. So 4,000 gallons of water is about 41 kilowatts of electricity. You save electricity, you reduce almost 1,000 pounds of pollution and CO2 out of the environment.
So everyone should have this.
Yeah, so it's ecological and it's economical. And so what we've done is this care guide we're doing is called 10 Tips for 10 million people. If 10 million people have the drop box, it's 45 billion gallons of water, 46 million kilowatts of electricity, 5.5 billion tons of carbon. It is a massive environmental impact around a very, very, very simple solution for the consumption world, which is the domestic world. So we focused on how can we create this line of products that can still help the environment but are simple, easy. They're for what we call the soft environmentalists. And so that's on the horizon, and I've been named the moniker for me in the green world because I'm not a green guy. I'm very upfront about that. I'm now called an ecopreneur.
That's the new term.
So it's not an entrepreneur. Okay. I'm not an environmentalist. I'm right in the, I am an ecopreneur with this device.
Well, this is a profit-making company as well.
It's
we're a nonprofit.
Well, no, it's myblueearth.org, and the .org makes us feel kind of fuzzy, but it's a for-profit organization. But the point is, we believe you can have a for-profit company but still have a nonprofit impact. It's 10 million units, we save 50 billion gallons of water. We don't have to be a nonprofit to do good. If anything, as a for-profit company, we become self-supporting. As a cause, a nonprofit, you're always running around looking for money because you're not ever a self-supporting entity.
When will this be available?
We're looking at, we hope, the end of this year. Our launch program, though, is a little unique again. What we've done is we said, how can we get to scale of 10 million units? And we looked at direct response, we looked at infomercial, we looked at retail, which are the normal courses. We went a little differently. We're fortunate to have access to a lot of large corporations. And the big companies have CSR programs, social responsibility, employee engagement. So we can look at a company like a Toyota with 30,000 employees and say, oh, if you did the Dropbox as part of the My Blue Earth initiative and you give it to your employees, well, then you're basically responsible or credited with saving 140 million gallons of water. So as a corporation, this becomes an initiative that the companies can build into their CSR and their annual reports. So our goal is we're in discussions with Toyota and JP Morgan and Walmart and Target and McDonald's. We're trying to get about 15 companies to say, we want to be part of this. We want to give it to our employees as an initiative to save 50 billion gallons of water. So to do that, we've got a time frame of a sales process that we think will launch going into November, and then it'll be available to retail at the first of the year.
Great.
We hope.
Cross the fingers.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's always the premise of, it's the entrepreneurial dilemma. It's the bamboo theory. Is it may take a year or 2 or 3 and you try and hit these timelines, but sometimes things are beyond your control. You're not sure, but our best guess is we're on pace for fourth quarter of this year.
Nice. And you can check out more of Steve's company at .com, Big Bamboo?
Well, BigBambooLLC.com is the parent company, and under that we have, My Blue Earth and ComCom and Ronistar and Cineplex. A bunch of the companies are all listed under that moniker. And coming full circle, the reason, just again another point of why I did Big Bamboo as a holding company is I didn't want the hubris of SteveandMeade.com as a website. And since these were my companies and we were starting them, it was, how did you tell the story of what you're doing without looking like it's all about me? Because it's not. It's about the companies and the people we're working with. So all the companies are listed under there, but yet it's the ones that we've created personally, that I've created over the last 8 or 9 years.
Great. Thank you so much for telling us about your company,
and
also another way to do an incubator and an accelerator out there for you. So thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you.
All right. Thanks, Steve.